Hello again, this is Theoretically Hearing, where I'm going to nerd out over a Eurovision song for the next few minutes. I'm going to take a Eurovision song and I'm going to look at the music theory, the composition, the orchestration of that song, and see if we can place what it is about that song, if those elements helped it do really well in the contest, or get 0 points. In this video, we're going to look at Finland's entry for the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest, Cha 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 by Käärijä. Now, this song was something special. It came top in the televote. It was the people's winner. The jury vote that night had different opinions about what was the best song, but in this video we're going to look at the song that came overall second, but in everyone's hearts it came top. This is a song broadly of two halves, isn't it? We've got some proper rap, we've got heavy guitars, we've got a driving groove in that first half, and then a 180 in the second half. We've got beautiful melodies. This song is a big contrast to what actually won the contest overall, but it had enough elements in the song that the jury vote from many different countries gave it 12 points. There was enough interest in the song musically that it did really well. Not only that, but it was extremely popular as well with the televote. So this song, it's in a straightforward 4/4 time signature. It's a rock song. We don't expect too much more there unless you're a little bit more progressive. 4/4 time signature. The key signature is E minor. It's pretty standard for a heavy metal song. There's a slight Phrygian note going on that I'll point out shortly. And then the second half of the song, there's a slight variation as well, but it's still roughly in E minor. I'll talk about that key signature in the second half of the song shortly. There's something interesting I want to point out there. So with that, let's have a look at the song, shall we? What a sequencer. Right off the bat, you've got the energy. A really good tone in there. So what's happening there, we can hear a lead synth that's quite piercing, and it's playing on the E note, but it sort of portamentos up to an F. Not an F sharp. If we're in E minor, that'd be going quite nicely up a major tone up to the F sharp. But what's happening here is we're going up to the F. This is Phrygian. Now, if you're familiar with a lot of metal songs, you might have heard Phrygian now and again. You might have known it, you might not have known it. A good example of a metal song in Phrygian is Metallica's Wherever I May Roam. Yeah. Hear the F. Bet you didn't know that. If you did, you're on the right channel. If you didn't know it, you're still on the right channel, because I'm going to point these things out to you. The lyrics are brilliant for this, I love it. So we've got a hi-hat there. Not a hi-hat. Building up to the first proper verse here. Now what I quite like about how that groove works with the guitars is that the guitars are playing straight quarter notes, or eighth notes even. They're just playing a drive and solid beat there, but the chas there are playing kind of off beat. They're kind of not quite triplets, some dotted notes on there, but there's a tension in the rhythm there. It's almost kind of like a polyrhythm or a syncopated rhythm, where you've got the guitars playing that driving groove, and then the chas are playing off the beat. Great tension, love it. Off beat, yeah. And a break, back down to the next verse. If you've got a decent pair of headphones, listen to that sequencer, that bass, I love it. I would seriously consider checking out the rest of Käärijä's back catalogue if you haven't already. Not many of the songs, if any, are heavy like this, but very good drum and bass. Now we've got chord harmony coming in, and now we go to brilliant, very melodic. Now if you never came across this kind of contrast before, I seriously recommend you check out a band from Japan called Baby Metal. Very much this kind of thing, heavy verses and really melodic choruses. So talking on the theory for a second, this section of the song is now in G major. Okay, it's the relative major to the E minor that went before, but remember that Phrygian F note on there? That's not in E minor, that's in E minor, that's in E Phrygian. Okay, the F sharp that we have in G major doesn't exist there. We never heard an F sharp in the first half of the song, but now we're hearing the F sharp in that vocal melody. Have a listen. F sharp. So now we can hear G major. So this song is now in G major. Now let me speak for a second here. It's widely acknowledged, everyone knows about it, everyone mentioned it. This year's Eurovision Song Contest didn't have any key changes. Now what we mean by that is that there was none of that modulation that we normally get when we go up a minor third or we'll go up to the dominant, and the vocal melodies, the chord progressions, everything rises in tone. That just didn't happen this year. And that's fine, it made for quite an interesting contest. You weren't listening out for a key change that may or may not have happened. Everyone knew there was no key changes. But let's take a look here. The first half of this song, Cha Cha Cha, was in E Phrygian. We had an F, we had that minor second interval from the tonic. And then on the second half of the song we're in G major. Yeah, it's relative to the E minor Phrygian, the E Phrygian, sorry, that we had in the first half of the song. So is this a key change? It's not a modulation, you know, we're playing completely different melodies, we're on a slightly different key, so it's not a modulation key change as we know it. But if we're writing key signatures down, then there's going to be no sharps for the first half. You know, we're in E Phrygian, which is relative to C major. There's no sharps or flats in the key signature. Second half of the song, we're in G major. We've got a sharp right there on the stave. To me, that sounds like a key change. It's a weak argument, but I think there's something there. So joyful, this melody, isn't it? And we're lining up to finish the song on these hard cha-cha-chas on the E chord. Sequencer back to the tonic there at the very end. Rounding off the song, even though we've been playing in G major now for, you know, a good minute or so for the second half of the song, back down, back home to that E Phrygian, because that lead synthesizer was playing the F natural on that note there. It wasn't playing the F sharp, it was playing the F natural. And that was Cha Cha Cha. What a song. It is absolutely brilliant. Every now and again in the Eurovision Song Contest you'll get a song that is completely nuts but is actually enjoyable to listen to over and over again. This song charted really well in the UK charts as well for a Eurovision song. Not in English, it came in the top 10. I think it got up to number 6 on our charts. In fact, it was the first song to chart in the top 10 UK singles chart, the official UK singles chart. It was in Finnish and it was in the top 10. Never happened before, and it happened with a Eurovision song. That's impressive. Okay, so what's next coming up? So I'm going to look at some more of Eurovision songs from this year and previous years, even the ones that didn't do quite well, because although they came further down the table on results night, in and of themselves they're really good songs. They're good pop songs, they're good rock songs in some instances. Just that on the night with the competition, where they were in the running order, what songs were also played on the night, and the staging as well may have all had an impact on where those songs ended up on the night. So I'm going to take a look at the music in particular and just give those songs some appreciation that may not have been shown on the night. There are some good songs out there, and I hope that me pointing out the various bits that make those songs pretty cool might encourage you to hear these songs slightly differently. Okay, that's it for this video. Stick around. I hope you'll check out the next video when we'll look at another Eurovision song. So stick around and I'll see you next time.